Okay, Amanda, welcome. So tell me about your new project. What's it about?
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So I am excited to say that I have jumped into the world of authorship. So I am going to be in G.R.I.T's next installation of their anthology books. So G.R.I.T, Jennifer Bardot has been compiling anthologies, and she has several different ones. This one was her first. And the one that I will be included with is called Successful Entrepreneurs with G.R.I.T.
That's great. So you mentioned anthology. Tell me about it. What is it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So an anthology is essentially like a compilation of a bunch of different authors coming together for one book. So each of us, the entrepreneurs that have joined on for this book, each have a chapter in which we are talking about our entrepreneurship journey. And they are all actually local authors from St. Louis, local entrepreneurial business owners throughout the St. Louis area.
That's great. So each have a chapter. Tell me about yours. What did you write about?
So as you know, as we've been on this journey for the last 6 years, I am the owner of Pinspiration Chesterfield. And so what my chapter is really about is the challenges and the learnings that I've had throughout this time. With my background prior to this has been very much retail leadership. And going into this, it is a very different aspect. When the business is actually yours, it takes on a whole different level of weight, different thought processes, a lot of different challenges. What I tried to do was to narrow down a couple of my key learnings that I really took away from my experience. So I was able to talk about why I made the decision to go into business ownership, but then also just jump into what I learned about myself, things that I knew that were probably like a strength of mine throughout my prior professional life and how I could leverage them, but I had to leverage them differently. And I think one of the other big pieces of it are just relationships and friends and family, and how I really got the opportunity to leverage those experiences well and really lean on them to help support me through just through the evolution of the business.
Yeah, wow. So we're up on 5 years at Pinspiration. So what a journey you've been on. You have a great story to tell.
Well, it was interesting trying to sit back and relive it all. So opening, a very high touch physical business, and then having the pandemic as a surprise, right when I was supposed to soft open, definitely lended to some additional challenges. As I mentioned before, really having to think about how I utilize my skill sets differently. I was really pulled in many different directions. But because, I had an amazing team, they were able to really help me through this. Throughout the last 5 years, I've actually had to go back to work as I knew it before, while still maintaining the studio, just to ensure that, financially everything was taken care of. So that's definitely been a learning and something that I've had to balance quite differently, as far as being a mom and then being a business owner, as well as being a retail professional. And then hopefully having some kind of social life in there too, which may have taken a backseat a time or two. But yeah, it's really been great. I think this experience has been very rewarding because, as I mentioned before, there are multiple different entrepreneurs throughout St. Louis that are part of this anthology. I believe there's a little bit around 20, maybe up to 22.
Oh, wow.
So that many different authors that are each going to have a chapter dedicated to their experience. And we've had the opportunity to network a little bit. So I've heard some of their stories and some of the scope of what they're talking about. And it's just very inspiring because there is, it's always wonderful to connect with other leaders and understand their journeys and to learn from them. And it's just even better to know that it's a bunch of different companies that represent St. Louis, and getting that opportunity to share.
Wow. Well, I'm excited. When is the release? When can I get my hands on it?
Yes, absolutely. So our digital release is June 17th.
Okay.
So the book is actually going to be released digitally. And then actually within the first 24 to 48 hours, I will have a specific link to where you can purchase it, or people that are connected with me online or any of the other authors can purchase and download the digital version for only $1.99, which is incredible. What an incredible opportunity. The physical copy will come a couple months later. So very again, very exciting experience to have gone through that, to be able to officially, put author,
Yes.
next to my name as well. And it definitely excited me in a new way too, to think about what else could come into the future. But what I think I took away from this mostly was just about reminding myself how grateful I am for the friends and the family that stuck by me as things got really difficult, and being able to have a network of people that really helped me socialize and kind of think through what some of those challenges were, and then to get to memorialize it all in a chapter is pretty rewarding.
Along with others. Well, you are extraordinary. There's no doubt about that. As a mother and wife and executive leader, and now business owner, and now author. So to add that is pretty incredible.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, and make sure you have that link ready to go on June 17th.
Yes.
Thank you.